Hello and welcome to another video. We're going to be comparing NFL teams from 2024 to 2025 and taking the difference of their power scores and ranking them from 10th to 1st most improved teams. So we're not going to be using win total improvements or anything like that. We're going to use my own metric that I created called Power Score, which determines how good or bad a team is based on their stats in the regular season. So postseason performances aren't included in this, but we're going to take their scores with average being 0 and comparing them. And let's get this list started off. So at number 10, we have the 49ers. An improvement they had was in their luck stat, which I include one-score games in the luck category. So their improvement from 2024 with 2-6 in one-score games to 2025 at 5-1. That is a huge improvement and really contributed to their improvement in their spot at number 10. I did expect it to be a little bit higher though, since their win total improved by 6. But nonetheless, this is where they ended off the season. And here we have their graph of their power scores throughout the 2025 season. You can see each week their score changed a little bit, and that low point in week 10 was their loss to the Rams 26-42. Now at number 9 we have the Giants. They had a decent decline on defense, although their offense saw a huge improvement there. Just really had a good run game that 2025 season, and although they only improved by one win, their power score improved by 15 points, so that's really good for them. Hopefully a good sign of things to come. And here we can see their graph, an interesting improvement in the last few weeks of the season there, despite having nothing to play for. So, New York football fashion, they win when it doesn't count. But number 8, we have the Browns. They had a slight improvement on offense and a big improvement on defense. I did expect their defensive score to be a little bit higher, but nonetheless, they improved by 16 points overall in power score, and they ended up here despite being 5-12, being the 8th most improved team in 2025. And here we can see their graph. We can see that they remained just below average until the end of the season when they were out of playoff contention, but they stayed competitive really throughout most of the season, so that's good for them. Now we have the Houston Texans at number 7. They ended up first overall in power score by the end of the regular season. They had an elite defense. That defense really helped improve their power score there. Their offense also improved, and their luck as well. They really had a really good season. They just didn't make it all the way to the Super Bowl in the playoffs, unfortunately, but they did have a good regular season. They started off a little bit slow, but after week 4, they really hit their stride and had a pretty consistent increase in their power score all the way through the end of the season. At number 6, we have the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. They had an improvement on offense there. You can see with Clint Kubiak coming in, still not hugely impressive, but that's mostly because of their turnovers in the regular season. They had a massive improvement on defense, and although they're only 7th in regular season power score, they had a very good postseason run that wasn't included on that score, and they led to a Super Bowl win. Here's their graph. We can see they started off slow, but really hit their stride in the later part of the season. At number 5, we have the Carolina Panthers. They had a bit of a decline on on offense, sorry. But their defense had a very big improvement, and that is the majority of their improvement here. They also had an improvement on luck with their 2025 one-score games at 7-3. So that's a good sign for them. Hopefully they can continue that improvement, but if we look at their graph here in 2025, it was so inconsistent. Extremely inconsistent team throughout the season, but they did end up 8-9, and that's good enough to win the NFC South, so they did make a playoff appearance, and what a ridiculous team. So let's move on to number 4. We have the Rams. They had a huge improvement on offense, which I think is representative of just how good that offense was this last year. Matthew Stafford really deserving of that MVP. I think this is a really good season for him and that whole team. The Rams also had an improvement on defense, a noticeable improvement there. And yeah, just an overall really good team. They ended up second in power score, and yeah, they just had a really good season there. They were first in power score, I think, for a few weeks there, and towards the end of the season, but Texans did pass them eventually. And number 3, we have the Bears. They had a huge improvement on offense. They oddly stayed about the same on defense, but still above average defense. They had an improvement on luck, which is really good. In their one-score games in 2024, they were 3-7, but in 2025, they were 7-4. And here we can see their graph here. They really had a steady increase throughout most of the season until the very end there. In the last couple weeks, they kind of stagnated. But they were good enough to get the number 2 seed in the NFC and win that NFC North. So really big improvement for them there. Off-season champs finally paying off. And now at number 2, we have the Patriots. These last 2 teams really above the rest. The Patriots going from 4-13 to 14-3. If we were going by win total improvements, they'd be number 1, but with power score, they're number 2. They had huge improvements all around, offense, defense, and luck. These huge improvements led to a Super Bowl appearance. Not just that, just a playoff appearance, but that by itself is impressive, but they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Here we can see their power score really hit their stride towards the end there, heading into the playoffs, and that's really most of what it takes to have a good postseason run and make it to the Super Bowl. But really impressive improvements from the Patriots. And at number 1, we have the Jaguars. They had drastic improvements all around, especially impressive improvements on defense there. 42-point swing. They improved by 88 points in power score. Remember, at number 10 with the 49ers, they're only 10-point increase. So Jaguars really far above the rest in terms of power score improvement, going from 32nd all the way up to 4th. And here we can see they had a huge surge towards the end of the season to end up 4th in regular season power score. Ended up winning the AFC South. Yeah, this is just an impressive team and an impressive improvement. And yeah, that's the rankings. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the start of the 2026 NFL season, so help me get there.